So, my original plan for my latest Shonen Jump video was to talk about the last two issues in a single video. We had two Shonen Jump issues within 5 days of each other, featuring two brand new series debuting. We had fantastic chapters, and I thoroughly enjoyed them all, but the chapter that I kept going back to and reading over and over again was the first chapter of Sakamoto Days by author Yuto Suzuki. Now, don't get me wrong, the big title still had absolutely banger chapters. Jujutsu Kaisen in particular, with the latest chapter, was absolutely fantastic and has it's got some issues on the horizon I foresee with certain characters, so that'll be interesting to see how that resolves. And I'd love to discuss the past week's chapters in the comments for anyone that wants to talk about the main series. But Sakamoto Days took me by surprise, and I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to dedicate a quick video to it. With that in mind, this week's weekly Shonen Jump review, which isn't a weekly Shonen Jump review, is a Sakamoto Days takeover. My name is Jordan, aka Axel Blaze, and let's get into this quirky new series. Now, first off, it should be noted that the new series that had the most promotion going into these releases was Build King by Toriko author Mitsutoshi Shimabukuro. But that's not really a surprise given that Jump loves promoting returning authors and artists. No, he didn't get the red carpet like Burn the Witch or Samurai 8, but it was clear that the editors at Jump wanted to really promote Build King. 2 chapters in, and it's not bad so far. If you're a fan of Toriko and his humor, then I think you'll like this new series, but we'll see if it can stand the test of time against the other titles currently running in the magazine. Me personally, I don't think that it's as strong as Toriko right out of the gate, but, we'll see how sales go. Yuto Suzuki, on the other hand, the author of Sakamoto Days, doesn't have a bunch of series under his belt like Toriko's author does. He's had 3 one-shots through Jump Plus, with one of them being the original one-shot version of Sakamoto Days. Out of the 3 one-shots, I definitely recommend reading his one-shot Locker Room, which I found on Manga Decks, if you're a fan of more serious stories with darker tones. I myself was caught off guard by the plot twist, and it was really solid. But we're not talking about the one-shots. We are talking about Sakamoto Days, and this series is pretty dang funny. Now, what's the premise? A hitman at the top of his game in the underworld, literally the best in the business, unexpectedly falls in love with a clerk at a small convenience store. So he quits his job as a hitman, he marries said clerk, has a kid, and then he gets out of shape. From this point forward, he lives a happy life as a husband, father, and convenience store employee. But this guy Sakamoto still has the occasional fantasy of killing unruly customers in his store, and boy is it violent, delightfully so. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, he's just daydreaming, and he's no longer in his prime. He's just a chubby clerk, softened up by family life. There's no way he still has his assassination skills in any capacity. He does. He totally does. He has all of the assassination skills still. One of the guys in the same organization that he used to work for tracks him down, and he tries to get him to rejoin the group, but Sakamoto declines. He has no plans to leave his family or the store he now works for, and this leads to quite the confrontation and series of events. And as much as I would love to share details on the rest of the chapter, I'd rather recommend reading the rest for yourselves. Now, how can you do that? Well, the free legal way to do so is to download the Manga Plus app and read it through there for yourselves. If you have it downloaded already, great. And if you don't, why not? It's free. It's free Jump, man. Get the Manga Plus app. You can also read it through the Viz Media Shonen Jump app, but keep in mind with that one, it does have a $3 per month subscription fee. Though that is the cost of a cup of coffee, so that's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Either way, you can read Sakamoto Days and support the authors and artists in Shonen Jump in the process. There's a lot of great stuff out there right now, especially in the Manga Plus app. So again, if you don't have the Manga Plus app downloaded already, download it, read Sakamoto Days, and read the other stuff that's in there right now, and you will thank me later. Now then, if you are a fan of The Way of the House Husband, which I myself am, I have a feeling that you'll really enjoy this manga too. It has similar humor to House Husband with the former hitman slash Yakuza main character, but the big difference is that Sakamoto Days still has a bunch of violence. Convenience store warfare is pretty dang great. And I think overall the series has a lot of potential for interesting stories. We'll probably have a bunch of interesting one-off chapters, but I can totally imagine cool various story arcs that the series could have. Either way, Suzuki Sensei has crafted a pretty great first chapter, and I'd argue that it's one of the best first chapters in Jump this year. And if you haven't read it already, again, I definitely recommend giving it a try, and then once you've read it, come back and tell me what you've thought in the comments. That being said, if you have already read the first chapter of Sakamoto Days, then by all means sound off in the comment section. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to talk about any of the other series in Jump, I'm more than happy to talk about them in the comments too. As it is right now, I read every series that's being published weekly in Shonen Jump, so I've got my opinions on all of them. And you can definitely tell since in the last weekly Shonen Jump review, I covered everything there. But anyway, that's it for this week's Jump review. That wasn't actually a Jump review. I'm trying to figure out what a more practical format would be for it, so bear with me as I figure out the details. This isn't the first time I've been doing various stuff for the weekly Jump reviews, and I'm still trying to find what fits perfectly. So again, bear with me as I'm trying to figure it out. Now that being said, if you are looking for more manga content and haven't seen it already, then you should definitely go check out my latest podcast episode where I talked about my thoughts on the best manga series of 2020. Another new podcast is coming out this Friday as well, so if you want to be notified when it comes out, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you click the bell icon, then you'll be notified as soon as they are released. That said, I want to give a big thank you to everyone that subscribed so far. I love to see my audience growing and enjoying my content, so thank you for being here. And until next time, my name is Jordan, aka Excel Ablaze, and I could really go for some convenience store ice cream right now. I don't know about you guys. I just hope that the guy behind the counter isn't a former hitman. Bye-bye.